welcome to Easy Play Piano. In this lesson, we'll be looking at how you can fake at being good at piano improvisation with a few easy steps in 2023. If you're feeling confused about how to arrange chords and want to feel confident improvising at the piano in any social situation, don't miss your chance to sign up for a free consultation below and let's chat. I'll leave a link down below in the description box. I help people just like you go from confused and confident to improvise at the piano in any social setting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a lesson. So if you're ready, let's get started. I am so excited to share with you the first 4 notes, and this is going to be the most amazing 4 notes that you have ever played. You're going to build so much improvisation skills and tricks and tips. So the 4 notes are C, G, A, and F. Now, if you're new to piano, just a quick reference point, this is middle C, so you'll go down to the lower C and then find your F. Now, these 4 notes are not only applicable to the left hand, but they're also going to be played in our right hand. So C, G, A, and F. Now, play these 4 notes until you feel completely comfortable. In fact, I suggest that you play these 4 notes until you can play them with your eyes closed. From these 4 notes, we're going to build out all of our special ways that we can improvise and sound really good at the piano. Let's look at how we can build our 4 chords. So the first note is C. You're going to count up 5 notes from C. So when I mean up, it means going towards the top end, the high end of your piano. So 5 notes would be C, D, E, F, G. So that's your first, what we call interval, 5 wide notes. And then from here, from the G, you're going to count up another 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 2 intervals, or the number of notes that you need to worry about for now, are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to use the fingering 5, 2, and 1. Unless you have an extremely large hand, then you can use another fingering, but my hands are not that large, so I have to use in my left hand 1, 2, and 5. So this is your, what we're going to call the C chord, C, G, E. We're going to do the same activity, but this time we're going to build from the note G. So G, count up 5 white notes, G, A, B, C, D. That's your first interval. And then we're going to count up 4 notes from D, D, E, F, G. So we're going to refer to this as the G chord. Now, the next chord is so easy, you don't even have to use the formula to figure it out. But just so you know, keep your hand, your left hand, in the same position, the same shape, and all you're going to do is move your finger, each finger, up to the next set of white notes, like this. So now you have A, E, and A. So practice this transition, this movement a few times. So that is what we're going to call our A chord. Now, the final chord in this super wonderful, amazing improvisation chord progression is the F. Now, the F chord is, first of all, find your F. So 3 black keys and go down 1, that's F. Count up 5 notes, F, G, A, B, C. So that's your first note of the chord. And then from C, you'll count up 4 notes, C, D, E, F. And the notes are F, C, and F. And this is what we're going to call our F chord. Now we have our 4 chords, the C chord, and you can always follow the chord progression by what your 5th finger in your left hand plays. So C, the next chord is G, A, and down to F. So the first thing we're going to do to begin to improvise and sound really good at the piano is we've been playing our chords, our 4 chords, as blocked. That means we're playing all of the 3 notes together at the same time. This means blocked. Now we're going to break up our chord. That means we're going to play each note of the chord one after the other. So we'll play C, G, and C. Same chord, just 1 note at a time of the chord. G, D, G, up to A, E, A, and then down to F, F, C, and F. Now, if this is elementary for you, just remember that improvising you don't need a lot of notes and you don't need to sound fancy, but you do need the confidence to be able to improvise in front of other people. So sometimes when you keep it more general and simpler, it's actually easier to actually build out your improvisation. Now here comes the fun part. Now we're going to add in our right hand, and there's a very quick way that you can figure out how to add your right hand. So we're going to start back at our C chord, so C, G, and E. To find the notes that fill in this chord, there's a few ways, but I'm going to show you a really quick and easy trick. So you're going to go to the top of your chord, the top meaning the highest note in your chord, which would be C in this case, and you're going to count up 3 notes, C, D, E. So this is now the start of the chord in your right hand. So let go of your left hand. Don't worry, it'll come back. So now we have E. You're going to count up 3 notes. So E, F, G, and then you're going to count up 4 notes from this G. G, A, B, C. So you have 3 notes, E, F, G, and then 4 notes from G. G, A, B, C. And this is your chord. Now I'm going to teach you a little trick just to make sure, to check yourself, to make sure you're on the correct chord that is linked with your left hand chord. So if you're playing the right hand correctly, and even if you're not, that's okay, the top note of your chord, C, will be the same note that you're going to play in your left hand with your 5th finger. So the outer notes for now are going to be the same. And this is a quick way that you can check. So there's your C chord. We'll do the same thing with our G chord. Play my G chord, go up 3, start of my right hand chord, 3, 4. There's my G chord. Now, easy stuff here. All you have to do is to find the A chord is simply move all of your fingers, not just your left hand, but your right hand and your left hand up to the next set of white notes. There's your A chord, A, E, A, C, E, A. And for your F chord, start back down with your F chord, your F, C, and F. And remember, from the top of your left hand chord, find 3 notes up, that's your A, then go up 3, and then up 4. And that's your F chord, and to double check, make sure your outside notes are the same. In fact, if you do this gesture, it'll help you see, oh yes, they're the same. So I'm definitely on the right track. Now, let's play this together and you'll get an idea of what it could sound like to use this as the base of inspiration, as a pattern for your improvisation. A quick and simple trick to up-level your improvisation is to play it at a faster tempo. So instead of playing the notes as we played previously, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to change the time signature. So you're going to be playing all of the notes of the chord in your right hand, note by note, and all of the chords in your right hand and your left hand moving back and forth. But remember, if you ever get lost, remember it's C, G, A, and F. And all we're going to do here is just play the chords like this. So all I've done is I'm playing the same chords we just played, but broken up. Now that you're feeling more and more comfortable with the chord progression from C, G, A, and F. Now, this is the part where I call the creative expansion, or the reason that the right hand is left blank is because this is your moment in time to begin to add anything that sounds good in your right hand. Now, if you are newer to improvisation, I would suggest to improvise basically between the C to C or the C to C, but keep your range relatively narrow, especially if you're newer to improvisation, because remember, you still have the left hand that is going to be playing this pattern that's familiar, but if you're newer to improvisation, it might be a little bit of a challenge. So I'm going to play something now, and this is absolutely in the spur of the moment, and I'm going to improvise something in my right hand, and when this video is over, I want you to try this on your own and see what you come up with. So I'm going to add my left hand as my context, and I'm going to improvise with my right hand. course, I've practiced improvisation. It's what I teach, so this might sound a little of a challenge to you, but that's okay, because that's what improvisation is about. It's about all of us understanding what sounds good to us and letting the feeling of music flow through us. If you want to really impress your friends, if you're out in public or you're at a party or an event and you really want something that's actually really simple but sounds really impressive, or it sounds slightly more complex than it really is, then this is the best way to do it. So we're going to start with our same chord that we played in our left hand and our right hand, but this time we're going to do two things. Okay, so remember the chord that we played. You know how to figure it out now. We're going to transfer it to the lower range, so an octave lower. And then the next layer, the next part of this is we're going to play each note of the chord, and then we're going to repeat the same pattern, the same chordal pattern broken up, but in a different octave. And we're going to move up the piano, range by range, octave by octave. You can go as high as you like. It's totally up to you. So remember, go back to your chord, go back to start with a lower octave, and you're going to play the same pattern up and down the keyboard. This applies to all of the chords that we've learned. So for the A chord, it would be the same thing. You can start on this A, you can start way down here if you like, but I'm going to start with this lower A. So here's my chord. I'm just going to move my hand to the next octave. If you get lost, always mark the A and roll up, right? You could even go higher. Up to you. Now, what I suggest is once you've practiced all these chords with this particular improvisatory little trick, is to put it all together. But before we do that, let's look at the other chords and see how they sound when we apply this particular improvisatory technique. Now we have the F. So here's my F. I'm going to roll it up to the next octave, roll it up to the next octave, like this. And finally, we have our G. So the G, same thing. If you ever get lost, keep your eye on the G. You're going to move and roll the chord, put your fifth finger on the next G, move and roll the chord up an octave, and so forth and so on. It's totally up to you. Now I'm going to put all of these chords together using this formula, and I want you to see if you can play along with me, and I also want you to be thinking about ways that you could incorporate this into your own piano improvisation. Congratulations, you've completed this lesson. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next lesson.